Republican lawmakers are at odds with the governor. Earlier this year, they called for answers regarding the release of inmates who are not U.S. citizens. Now they say the governor is releasing inmates back into the public to slow the spread of COVID-19 behind bars. But it's their convictions that have lawmakers worried. WCI3's Gabrielle Franklin explains.
This is a pattern of ignoring requests for information from a co-equal branch of government. These are answers that we deserve to know, the public deserves to know, and certainly the victims of these crimes deserve to know.
Illinois House Republicans are seeking answers from the governor and the Department of Corrections about inmates being furloughed or released early. This comes after 147 corrections employees and 153 inmates tested positive for COVID-19 around the state. Lawmakers say the governor is releasing prisoners who may not be at a higher risk for contracting the disease.
You know, at first they were saying that we were going to release the elderly and the people that are more susceptible. Well, that's not what's happening. There's 47 different murderers that have been released from the Department of Corrections. And that's what we can find.
2 people who were clients of the Illinois Innocence Project were released earlier this month. Both were convicted of murder. One client has underlying health conditions. The other had already gone before the Prisoner Review Board. The project's executive director says they both deserve to be released.
These cases where he's releasing people are being vetted, and the people are getting out, they're on parole. And so there's some follow-up by the department with all of them. So all these people are being checked out in advance. They're being checked out after their release. I think that, that's about all you can do.
When asked about why people accused of these crimes were being released, he said his goal is to keep everyone healthy.
I want to keep the risk to people across the state of Illinois as low as possible, the risk of catching COVID-19 and the risk that might occur from somebody who has done something wrong in their past.
At the Capitol, Gabrielle Franklin.
Governor Pritzker says so far more than 1,300 inmates have been released since the pandemic hit the country. Illinois has an inmate population of around 40,000. And the governor's executive order allows those who are medically vulnerable to be temporarily released as long as the order is in effect. He maintains his goal is to alleviate the burden on our prison system.